Hi everybody, so as promised I am filming a car tour of my new Fiat 500 today. The reason I'm doing this is because one, people asked me to, and also when I was kind of weighing up which trim level of car to go for, I watched tons of other people's car tour videos and it really helped. So even though this is a bit of a random video, hopefully it helps someone who's maybe thinking of getting a Fiat 500. So the model which I have is the 2016 Fiat 500 1.2, the Lounge edition. So there's the Pop, which is the entry level, the Pop Star, and then the Lounge. I think there's then some like sports versions kind of above the Lounge as well, but the Lounge is the one that I went for because I'm not a very sporty kind of person, so I felt that this style would be more in keeping with my general aesthetic. I've just gone around my car and filmed some outside shots, so I will put them over me as I'm talking. Now the colour that I went for is just the kind of traditional classic white Fiat 500 colour. I think it's this like the standard colour that most Fiat 500s will come in. I personally think it's the best colour. I think it looks really classy. I think inside, which I will show you in a second, I think inside looks really nice. I'm not a fan of the kind of like the mint interior or the blue or the red. It's just personally not really what I like, but if you like that, then awesome. Just get whatever car you like. So the only way you can tell that I've got the new model Fiat 500, because the 2016s were the first lot to have the redesign, is that the rear lights now have like a cutaway section to them. It'll make it easier to understand what I mean than me trying to awkwardly explain it. And also the front kind of grille section underneath the number plate has a kind of chrome detailing to it now. And that's really the only way you can tell from the outside, aside from the number plate, which like model of car it is. Also with the Lounge you get the panoramic roof, which I will show you in a second, and that's really the only way that you can tell. Obviously there's a lot of differences inside, which I'll go through now. This is just generally the interior of the car. You can see, so I bought this obviously second hand, it's a year old, so I didn't choose any of this, but I happen to really like it. So the seats are kind of this grey material. The top bit is, I don't think this is leather. It doesn't feel like leather, to be honest, but I really like it. It's kind of leather effect. It has the Fiat 500 logo embroidered into it. Let me get a close up. It's then got this like white edging detail around the sides of the seats, so that's cool. What else can I show you whilst I'm sitting here? If I just flip the camera, oh actually I can do a really unflattering up the nose shot, but this is, so up here we have the panoramic roof. So this does not open, it's not a sunroof, it's just like a glass panel to the heavens. And I can also pull this across like this. So if it was really bright and it was too bright for me to see the instruments and things down here, I could pull that across. But I think for the most part, I would just have that open because it really lets the light in, obviously, and it makes it feel so much more spacious inside here. As I'm sitting in the driver's seat, obviously this is my steering wheel in front of me, so the horn is just here. I'm not going to pip it now because I'm sitting in the driveway at my house and I don't want to terrify all my neighbours. One thing I really like about this car is that it has the black steering wheel. A lot of them have the cream steering wheel, and I actually test drove one with a cream steering wheel as well. And it was a bit grubby where the stitching is around here. Just had kind of, I don't know whether it was just whoever had that car previously was maybe a little bit, I don't know, a little bit full on with their foundation, but it looked like foundation like was kind of caked in it. It might have just been the natural kind of aging of the material. But anyway, I really wanted one with a black steering wheel. Got these buttons on my steering wheel as well, so I can pick up a call and drop a call. Oh, also my nail broke, which is why I've got a stumpy nail. This enables me to skip through tracks if I'm listening to music off the radio, not off the radio, but off my phone, like a playlist or something. I can skip through using these. On this side, I've got a volume up, volume down. I can mute any music that's playing, and this is pretty cool. I can hold this down and then I can voice control my phone, so I could say phone my mum or phone home, and it will then phone using the hands-free, which is really cool. And then either side you obviously got the indicator and the lights there. And then this side, you've got the windscreen wipers and that sort of thing. This is the, where are my keys? Let me just, oh, this is the key, by the way. Oh, this is really hard to do with one hand. So this is the key. I have a Guardians of the Galaxy Baby Groot keyring, just because it was the cheapest one on Amazon that I could find. This is the keyring, the key fob just here. So boot, lock, open. I press this and the key pops out. So if we just turn the car on, you'll see what my, let's actually start the engine because I am going to drive in a minute, and we'll just mute that. So this is what my dash looks like. Pretty standard. I haven't got my seatbelt on at the moment, which is why that's on, but obviously I'm not going anywhere at the moment. That's obviously, that other one is the handbrake. And then I have fuel, time, date, outside temperature, 18 degrees. That is pretty warm. And obviously the miles it's done. Yes, that's it. That's really boring. Moving on, I have this media unit, which is pretty cool. So at the moment I'm just on the radio, so I can change it to radio. Media is, that should be paired to my phone. I don't know why it isn't. I have a trip computer, so it tells you how much your range is, so how far you can drive with your current tank of petrol. It will do fuel consumption as well, miles per gallon, but I guess I've not driven enough yet. It will also pair to my phone, and I can get my recent calls and my messages and things through here. Apps I haven't really figured out yet. It tells me the outside temperature, but I can see that in front of me anyway, so yeah. This is the power off and on for the radio. This mutes it. I don't really use these buttons because normally I'm driving, so I use the ones on the steering wheel. This is pretty cool. I can press this and it will just turn off the screen, so it's not a distraction when you're driving. And then you can just tap it to turn it back on. You can also, what's pretty cool, you can just choose which radio station you want to listen to. You don't have to like manually kind of program it in or just kind of have it assigned to a button. You can literally just choose which radio station you want to listen to, and it will then change the radio station. Down below I've got these 3 buttons. I'm actually going to turn my car off because this might take a while. I've got these 3 buttons down below. So this one is for city driving. So this one basically makes your steering really, really light, which is quite handy for parking because it means you don't need to like use as much effort to turn the steering wheel. I haven't used it personally. I find it harder to park with the city parking turned on, but maybe that's just me. I've then got my hazard lights. These are my fog lights down here. Obviously I've got air vents and things, pretty standard. Then down here I can control the temperature, the intensity of the air coming out of the vents. I press this in for air conditioning. If I want recycled air or air coming in from the inside, this is where the air is blowing. This in the middle is a microphone or a speaker, I think, for the voice control. I've also got another one up here as well. This, I can't remember what this is, ASR. I don't know what that is. I did look it up, but yeah. This is to turn the start-stop engine off. So I have a start-stop engine, which basically means if I'm sitting stationary and I'm not in gear and I have my handbrake on, I think the engine will stop. So it kind of saves the environment when the engine's running unnecessarily. And then when I put the clutch in, it restarts. This is to heat up the windscreen, the rear windscreen, I think. Yeah, the rear windscreen. This is something to do with the airbags, I believe. I mean, I've had this car for like 4 days, so I think it's something to do with the airbags. I'm never going to touch that because I don't want to disable my airbags. I guess you'd only need to do that if you had a kid or something in a what are they called? Car seat. The window controls are down here, so they're electric windows. This is the gear stick. It's one of the ones where you pull the ring up like that to put it into reverse. Then down here, right now I've got my phone in it, but there's a little kind of pocket here. My phone doesn't actually live there when I'm driving because that is very annoying. I have a cigarette 12 volt port here, a little section here. I joke that this is where you store your sugars from when you go to McDonald's and they give you all like sugars and sauces and things. That's where you put those. I've got a cup holder, that's just my house key there. I then have an auxiliary in and a USB in as well. Handbrake is here. 2 more cup holders back there, and glove box. On the new ones, the glove box you can actually open and close. It's a mess in there, but the glove box you can actually open and close on the new model. On the old one, it was just kind of like an open thing, which I really like in my car, to not have anything on show. I mean, that's my handbag there, but I don't like leaving stuff in my car. I always want it to look as tidy as possible, so I really wanted one that actually closed. The dash matches the exterior colour of the car, which is really nice. This is plastic, but it doesn't look plasticky. That's why I really like the white, because it just does not look plasticky in the slightest, in my opinion. What else can I show you? You control the mirrors from this little button on the side here. Boot space wise, it's very deceptive. It looks like it's going to be a tiny boot, but when you open it, it is actually quite big. You could fit probably, I had 4 bags for life, like the big bags for life of like Tesco, like grocery shop in the back, and it was fine. I probably could fit 5 in there, to be honest. I fitted in, when I was driving back from my parents to here, I fitted in a like Ryanair size suitcase and a big backpack, and I still had room. I'm very happy with this car. I love it. I went from an 11-year-old Ford Fiesta to this car, and it is quite the upgrade, I tell you. It's so easy to drive. If you have any questions about the Fiat 500 or the Lounge, this is the 1.2 engine, so like the entry-level standard engine, which I find to be plenty powerful enough. It's very nippy, really good for zipping in and out of traffic. I've taken it on the dual carriageway and it was fine. I got up to speed really quickly. What's pretty cool is this car will tell you when to change gear, which is good for fuel consumption, fuel like efficiency, but also it's a bit annoying, you know, if you're in third because you want to get some power. But if anyone has any questions, the fuel cap is really confusing to open. Once you've got it, there's a knack to it. Once you've got it, it is fine. But I would say if you're going to get a Fiat 500, just before you go to the petrol station to fill up for the first time, have a practice at home. There is a YouTube video which I'll link down below for anyone who happens across this video, of how to open the petrol cap, because it's so easy but so counterintuitive. You have to like hold it still, turn the key counterclockwise, then put it back in a certain way, then twist it and turn the key the other way. It's yeah, once you see it, it looks so easy, but honestly, I was struggling for like 10 minutes. Luckily at my parents' house, not at the petrol station, trying to work out how to fill up my bumming car, or how to close the cap on my car. But yeah, that'll be my only thing to be aware of. I hope this was helpful for someone. I know it was a bit random, but like I said, I found it so helpful to watch these sorts of videos. So in the comments, ask me if you have any questions. Let me know if you have a Fiat 500. Let me know what your favourite thing about your Fiat 500 is. That's about it. I don't really know. This is such a weird video for me to film. Subscribe if you want. I don't really make videos about cars or anything. I do weekly vlogs and I talk about mental health and just stuff that I'm doing. If you like watching someone doing their Tesco shop, then you should subscribe, because I do a lot of Tesco shops. I will see you in my next video. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry I wore my sunglasses for the entirety of this video. It doesn't look that sunny, but it's pretty sunny. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.